Namo Bhagavate Shri Ramana.
Only when you practice meditation, you know how hard it is, how very difficult it is. If you only just hear about meditation or the lectures about meditation, you may feel, what is there, it's easy. When our mind goes, bring it back to the object of meditation, that's all. But it is not as simple as that. Because Gurudev says, mind is Maya at work, Maya at play. So, it's very hard. See, sometimes when we sit for meditation, though we may feel we are there, but our mind just dozes. This sleep is the biggest Shatru in the seat of meditation. Because we have practiced, we have trained our mind. Either you think about so many things or go to sleep. So when you try to make the mind single pointed, think of only one thing, slowly the mind will doze off. That is why in the beginning stage they give Japamala. Because when you are doing the japa, when you sleep, doze off, you cannot rotate that japamala, the beads. So automatically the hand falls. Then you wake up. Actually, the japamala is to help you out and also to keep counts. So the sleep is the biggest trouble, the Shatru. How to overcome sleep? When the sleep overpowers you, we have to sleep. When you are very fresh, you can sit for meditation. How simple it is. The other times, when you sit for meditation, the mind will be so agitated, restless, for no reason sometimes. Sometimes the mind is like a sadhu, very quiet, cooperative, peaceful. Sometimes we don't know why the mind is so agitated, restless, disturbed. No? So we don't know what to do, how to handle it. As I told you in the morning, sometimes some thought fixation comes. You know what is thought fixation? Have you experienced it? Something goes into the mind and you cannot remove it. Very crazy thing goes into the mind. It is illogical. It is absurd. But it goes into the mind and somehow it comes again and again and again. You are unable to remove it. You find, what is this? What's happening to me? You know? So you find it very hard. Why this? Sometimes the mind is quite peaceful when you sit for meditation, it cooperates with you. Sometimes for no reason mind is so agitated, confused, disturbed. The other time the mind is so dull, sleepy, not interested, not inspired. It says, what is that to meditate? Boring. The mind creates all those stuff. Krishna says it means we are always under the influence of three gunas. Have you heard about gunas? The mood swings we call. Mood swings. Sometimes we are very fresh, alert, very peaceful, quiet. Means we are in the mood of sattva. Sattva guna is it. Meaning everything is alright. The feeling of everything is alright. That is Lord, He will take care of me. I have no problems in this world. And mind is so cheerful and peaceful, happy. Sometimes the mind, for no reason, it is very sad, depressed. நாலு கல்வி இருந்து ஓன்னு அழுவ மாட்டோம். அப்ப என்ன செஞ்சிருமா? அழுவணும். ஏன்? அட்லீஸ்ட் அழுது இதுல போயிடுங்க. And for no reason the mind is disturbed and agitated. Meaning our mind is under the influence of Rajoguna. Rajas also is a mood. It's a sort of a guna which is operating in us. As we have seen in the Vivek Chudamani, the person who is under the sway of Rajoguna, he is always involved in some activity or other. He cannot keep quiet. And invariably he has got this notion that I am the doer. I am doing everything. All the credit should come to me. And I am the enjoyer. So therefore, these kind of results should come. This is Rajoguna. And not only that, the Rajoguni person is always an extremist. He is happy, he is jumping. If he is sad, he crashes. And he is always full of raga and dvesha. Likes and dislikes. Either he is too attached or he hates. He is so indifferent. These are all the expression of Rajoguna. Whenever the mind is in the sway of Rajoguna, you cannot keep quiet. You will feel, what am I doing here? Wasting my time. I could have done this, that. What am I doing here? Nowadays, the modern youngsters, whenever you see them, always involved in something or other. Even when they are walking, they are always putting something on the ears, like Bumbum. What are they hearing? You don't know. or eating something, bubble gum, or viewing something, seeing something, or playing a game, or watching a movie, doing this or that, means we are very restless. We cannot keep peaceful quiet because we are so rajoguni pradhan. And when we love somebody, oh, I love you so much. When we hate, no, I hate you. Nowadays children tell their mothers, Mommy, I hate you. The mommy gets a heart attack. But you should not give any value to those words. The children is not hating them. Just in the spur of the moment, the child is telling you, Mommy, I hate you. But the child is not hating you. It's a way of expressing, Mommy, I love you. Meaning what? These are all the mood swings that. You understand? So when the mind, for some reason, is in the state of Rajoguna, that will not subside. That will not quieten. As I told you in the morning, it's like a volcano. Lava erupting. One thing or other. Blah, 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 blah. And whatever movie you have watched, that dance sequence will come into your mind. Or that fight will come into your mind. Or the romantic scene will come into your mind and disturb you. Or the cricket match. Or football match. See, when you are in the football stadium, you should be very careful. The fellow behind you may kick you also. You know why? Because he's so involved in the match, that fellow is to kick the ball, he will kick you. You understand? So you should be very careful while watching a football match. And also if you watch the drivers, in the night also, in the sleep, they will be applying brake. Means in the dream, it's very funny. The mind can create total. So therefore, when under the sway of Rajoguna, it is so agitated. And as I told you, this attachment comes from Rajoguna. The desire, the fear, the attachment, all these things are expression of Rajoguna. And dullness, sleepy feeling, not interested. Especially during Sundays, holidays. 8:30 also you don't want to get up. After getting up also, very funny to watch. And then say you brush. If at all you brush your teeth. You say, hard marna palla de. Allah than very not interested in anything. And there is a sukham, in sleep and a there is a sukham. You all agree, you are very good. That's called a Tamo Guna Pradhan Sukham. Why not? Why not? So, sleep overpowers. So, what to be done? Then Krishna gives a beautiful shloka, a beautiful advice. He says, a yogi who is trying to achieve perfection, he should live a life of moderation. Meaning, the middle path. Not too tight, not too loose, just right. One of our Swami Vimalananda used to always beautifully say, not too loose, not too tight, just right. Meaning, when you are playing the string instrument, like veena or violin or whatever, the strings are always, they should be maintained in a certain tension, right? If it is too tight, if you just try to play, fuck, it goes off. The string breaks. If it is too loose, no music comes out of it. It goes from there. It should be just right. Similarly, we also should not be too loose. Too loose means what? Hard, 10 hours. This is tamas. Too tight, rajas. Ready to start a fight always. Rajas. Just right means what? The right balance. When you want, we have to lead a life of moderation. An extremist cannot be a yogi. An extremist cannot be a yogi. Who is an extremist? Who eats meat? He eats a lot. Bulldozer. Or, I will not have anything. He is an extremist. Similarly, when I have to sleep, I can sleep together 24 hours also. Or, like an owl, they keep awake. He is an extremist. They work, I work. Some people are very, very proud to say, I am workaholic. It's not a proud thing to say, I am workaholic. Or, I don't want to work. See? Recreation, always I want some fun. This is extremism. Such people cannot progress in this path. Why is extremism? Because of rajas and tamas. One who has got sattva, he will be very balanced always. He will be very balanced. He always maintains the middle path. He is not too attached, or he is not hating too much anybody. He is sane. He is not too much into work, or he is not too much, enjoying or relaxing. He is not too much eating or not eating at all. See, this balance we need in life. Whether you are a yogi or not, even otherwise you need this balance. Because people trust only a balanced person. People never trust an extremist. Because we don't know what he will do. He himself doesn't know what he will do. How can you trust him? So therefore, Krishna gives a beautiful shloka. 17th shloka. Yuktahara viharasya Yukta cheshtasya karmasu Yukta swapnavabodhasya Yogo bhavati dukkha. See, though it appears to be a very, very simple word, but it is very, very important. If we are practicing yoga or meditation, this is very, very important. Yukta ahara viharasya. Yukta ahara. Moderate in ahara, in eating. A person who eats a lot can never be a yogi. Why? He is a bhogi. When you eat a lot, the mind becomes dull. And when the stomach is full, the blood will not go to the brain. It goes only to digest the food, and you feel dull always. So that is why when you go to temple also, when you eat full meal and go to temple, you don't feel like even praying to God. As if you are in a museum, you go and visit God. You can't worship Him. That is why they say you should have that vratam or fast. Yes, Swami, we like fast food. We don't fast. We eat fast food. Meaning what? When you are full in your stomach, you cannot do anything. Forget about meditation. Similarly, when you don't eat at all, the mind is always occupied with thought of food. Like this. Not only that, suppose if you take a vratam, only one side when we eat. So you eat. And afterwards, from the evening onwards, you start planning. Tomorrow what will I eat? Tomorrow what will I eat? And then morning you start expecting, I'm going to eat now at 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock, I'm going to eat. So always the mind is occupied with food only. And not only that, you tend to eat a lot in the afternoon. Why? Holidays offer, night offer, file panni vachiko. Meaning what? You tend to eat more. So therefore, a wise person, he eats a little, but he will not overload his stomach. Similarly, when a person eats non-veg and very rajasic food, his mind will not cooperate with him in the seat of meditation. Our Swami used to say, a person who is eating the non-veg, like the meat, he can never be a brahmachari, he can never be a yogi. Mind will not allow him to settle down. And similarly, a person who drinks, he can never have a very settled mind. So eating, moderate, yuktahara, viharasya, moderate in recreation. See, a person needs recreation. We cannot go on, toiling hard in this world. Recreation is required, but in moderation. கொஞ்ச நேரம் பாட்டு கேட்கணும் ஒன்றும் தப்பா போயிடாது. கொஞ்ச நேரம் டிவி கொஞ்சம் பார்த்தா ஒன்றும் தப்பா போயிடாது. But nowadays people are so used to, they say binge watching. I don't know what is binge watching. Binge drinking. Binge watching means what? Watch till you drop dead. You watch. A day you watch 3-4 films because you can download now any number of films and data is flowing. You download, watch. Binge watching this. And binge eating also. See, certain hotels they do this. Unlimited pizzas. Eat. So they go and eat. That's very, very unhealthy actually. The youngsters, they are very, in all these things. But maybe their stomach is very strong, the digestive system. But still it is very unhealthy. So if you eat too much, when you drink too much, do anything too much. See, Gurudev, what he says, ahara means not only food. Whatever sense indulgences, everything is ahara. Through eyes also we eat. We enjoy, Here also we eat, enjoy. So through any senses, if you overindulge, you cannot be you. Similarly, if you too much deny also everything, then also there is a sort of suppression. An ordinary, healthy person should not too much indulge also. ஒரு முரட்டுத்தனமா அர்த்தம் இல்லாம you should not deny also. Yuktahara, moderate in indulgence, in eating, and also in recreation. Viharasya means in recreation. You should have your own time also to relax, for recreation. You should not be a workaholic. That's what he's going to say next. Yukta cheshtasya karmasu. Cheshta means what? Always busy. Meaning what? Busy body is there. Kaiye kaala chumma vachittu mundiyadu. Cheshta na nattum. He's doing this or that. He is not a karma yogi at all. Some people get too much involved in activity and go on doing this and that. That is not the way to go. Even if you are a social worker, even if you are a sevak, even if you are a sadhak, see, this karma yoga, when done out of right attitude, will help you in Siddha Shuddhi. But when you take up unwanted things and go on working, it will not help you. You cannot sit for meditation. When you are so tired, how can you sit for meditation? And not only that, too much of work means too much of disturbance. Because your mind will be always planning. Today, Murthy ji was saying, on the email, what about this, what about that? Mind is always continuously running. So one who is Yukta Cheshtasya Karmas, in the name of Karma Yoga or whatever, if one is too much involved in work also, he cannot attain yoga. So you have to work. Too much relaxed in all this. Swami ஒரு சேர் பார்த்தாலே தெரியுது. சில பேர் ஈஸி சேர்லயே படுத்துருக்கோம். ரிட்டையர் ஆயிடுச்சு. நீங்க என்ன செய்யணும்? ஒன்று சார். But we retired at the age of 22. Meaning what? Every day is Saturday, Sunday. We don't look forward to Saturday, Sunday. Every day is Saturday, Sunday. We don't know what is Monday blues. There is a Monday blues, right? We really don't know what is a Monday blues. Every day the sky is blue only for this. Meaning too much of relaxation is not good, because mind, when it is used to this kind of relaxation, comfort, this kind of a thing, it does not want to sit for meditation. And too much of comfort, like nalla metta venu, nalla air condition venu, ella nalla irukanu. Something goes wrong, I cannot meditate. Why? Where we are, how can I meditate? Is this a sort of a way to go? Whatever happens, we will be able to meditate, right? So therefore, too much of recreation is not good. Or too much of work also is not at all good. Another song is middle path. So, we have to work, we have to relax. Sometimes you can even listen to music, watch a movie, nothing wrong. Occasionally, if you watch a match, what is wrong in it? Occasionally, if you go out and have an ice cream, what's wrong in it? Say, no, I will not eat ice cream. I'm yogi now. I will not eat ice cream. I will not do this. I will not do that. What will happen, you know? If you have that vasana, if you are suppressing it, the mind will revolt. It will not cooperate with you. The mind will revolt. This is called a suppression. Sometimes mind will revolt. You become a split personality. You said you want, but you are denying it. அதுக்காக எல்லாத்தையும் இன்டர் பண்ணணும் இல்லை. You understand? You use your discretion. Whichever is not harming you. There's nothing wrong in just having one or two. But you can't go on indulging it. So this is middle path. If you are serious about meditation, this middle path is serious. Similarly, Yukta Swapna Avabodhasya. Yukta Swapna means what? If we moderate in sleep. Avabodhasya, moderate in the waking hours also. Meaning you cannot go on be awake. You feel very sleepy and dull. ரொம்ப முடிச்சுட்டு வச்சுக்கோங்களேன், மூளை கெட்டு போயிடும். But என்ன ஆயிடும்? You cannot concentrate on anything. Or if you go on sleeping also, you feel sleepy. So, Yukta Swapna Avabodhasya. Here, you know what Gurudev says? Beautifully Gurudev gives a direction. He says Swapna means it's not only Swapna, it's also the waking. Meaning, always meddling with this samsara, with this world. That he says Swapna. Meddling with the world. Avabodhasya means, bodha means knowledge. Always in samadhi. He says both is not suggested for a seeker. It's very, very illuminating. He is always in samsara or in the world means what? He cannot sit quiet. But if he is always into meditation or samadhi means, he is forcing himself something which is not his true thing. He is having a lot of vasanas to exhaust, but no, I have to become a seeker. Not helping. Once in our ashram, a brahmachari had a severe headache. Headache means a splitting headache. For days together. And he went to the acharya and said, I'm unable to concentrate anything. So you know why? I have a very splitting headache. Then Acharya asked me, what are you doing? He said, I am following Bhagavan's path. Meaning what? No thought state. I want to reach no thought state. So what are you doing? I don't want to have any thought. If you forcefully, if you say no thought, you sit like that, your brain will become very heated up. Or something will happen, something will go wrong in your system. And Acharya said, now, eat well, rest well. Even if you want to go for a movie, now don't do meditation for 1 week. And then you know what he said? He gave a beautiful example. Suppose in the dhoti, sometimes you find a thread sort of thing. When you pull it, what will happen? The whole of dhoti will shrink. Right? Similarly, the mind also, if you too much push it, the mind will shrink, not help you. It should blossom. Ilya. It's self-unfoldment. The mind should blossom. It should not shrink. That's kasakida kuda manasu malaru. Apna, we should give time for it. Meaning, a seeker in over enthusiasm sometimes, or he wants to compete with somebody, or he wants to some mad idea goes. He wants to sit. That will not help. That is what Yukta Avabodha says. Avabodha means what? Awake means what? In the Samadhi, I want to sit Samadhi will not help me. Or, I don't want to sit at all. I want to always do something in the world. That also not good. Extroverted always. See? Therefore, a yogi, see, a balanced life is very important. What is sattva? Sattva means balance. See, that is why our scriptures have said, eat sattvic food. Adamathrilla, in right quantities, don't overeat. And sleep also properly, rest properly. And some recreation is fine. Work also, relax also. You know, everything in moderation. And always keep the mind pure. Always seek the company of good people. And chanting the Lord's name. These things will help you to develop sattva. This life of moderation, the middle path, will help you to develop sattva. If you don't live like that, it will lead to rajas or tamas. Since we are full of rajas and tamas, we are unable to progress in this path of meditation. Either we feel sleepy always, or we feel agitated and confused. Why? Because our lifestyle is either we overeat or don't eat, either we go on working in the world or too much relax, either we push ourselves too much or very loose. We laugh a lot or cry a lot. This extremism can never work. This is because of rajas and tamas. So developing sattva, you gain balance. For that, following the middle path. The food what we eat is very important. Because that goes to make our mind. The subtle aspect of the food goes to make our mind. See, you watch in the nature also, elephant is a huge animal. But most of the time it is very sattvic. Why? It eats only vegetarian sattvic food. The fox, or have you known hyena? Once I watched a video, my God, hyena, pack of hyenas they say, no? They are attacking lion even. They can attack lion and kill also, it seems. They are very ferocious animals. They are very little, but they are very ferocious. Why? Because they eat all sorts of things. So the food what we eat is very important. And also the company we keep is very important. Because that influences our mind so much. See, you know why the youngsters they take to drinking and all? Because when they are in the company, it's sort of fun. Or there's a peer pressure also. You don't drink, you are labeled as Ambi, Ayar of Ambi, even Buddha, useless stuff. They don't even take him into that group. So just to keep a cope up, they drink also. So the company you keep is very important. See, you people are very quiet and good children because you are a good company. If not, if you had a very bad company, you would not be in the ashram, you would be in a public. Is that not true? So the company what you keep is very, very important. And the thoughts you entertain. I tell you, all the actions, they express forth only from thoughts. That level we have to be pure. See, whenever a negative or a sort of a very vulgar or disharmonious thought comes in our mind, we should immediately be aware and we should not entertain. Or we should not even fight with it. We should allow it to pass. We shall see more about it tomorrow, how we have to handle our own minds. Tomorrow that is going to be the secret. So the thoughts we have to be very, very careful, watchful. Garbage in, garbage out. If you put all garbage inside, what will come out? Garbage out. See, sometimes very young children, maybe nurseries, first standard, sometimes they talk nonsense. You wonder from where they have picked it up. They have heard somewhere. In the company of the elder Annas, in the school or somewhere, they have picked it up. And they don't know what it means, what it signifies. They just blurt it out. See, the company we be, and also we have to be very aware of our thoughts. That level we have to be pure. See, when you allow that to sort of take over you, you cannot do anything in the physical level. You will just fall. When you are very, very guarded in your mental level, very careful about your thoughts, then never ever you can fall. Because after thoughts, only the thoughts, the actions follow. But we are all aware what's happening in our mind. Everybody, whenever we are in sattvic mood, we are aware. We are rajas, we are not aware. Aware means what? We are taken away by it. See, why people commit mistakes, do wrong? Because they are rajasic. They are not even aware. We are taken away by their thoughts, by their mind. So, that level we should maintain beauty. For that, our bhavana should be very good. Bhavana means our attitudes. So, to develop sattva, it is very important to lead a life of balance, middle path, to eat right food, to keep good company, to entertain right thoughts, and if you develop devotion towards the Lord, I tell you, that is the most beautiful thing. See, sometimes yoga may not help you, jnana also may not help you, may not sometimes. But devotion to the Lord is very, very important. When you chant the Lord's name, there's so much of power in it. So sacred that it purifies. It's Rama Nama. It's Rama. It's so pure. Similarly, any Lord's name is very pure. So to develop sattva, we should develop devotion towards God. So only when you develop sattva, when you sit in the seat of meditation, the mind is not dull or it is not agitated or disturbed. It is awake, alert, and it can immediately recognize, yes, it has gone away. Now bring it back. Most of the time when we are in rajasic mood, we don't know even the mind has gone. After a few minutes only we realize, what am I thinking? Why? Because our mind is so rajasic or dull, we don't even know that mind has gone. When you develop this sattva, immediately you know the mind has gone. உனையே மாற்றி ஓடா உள்ளத்தின் மேல் உறுதியாய் இருப்பான். It cheats us, it runs away. Most of them we are not aware. And after some time only we know, oh my God, what am I doing? Because we are not aware, we are either rajasic or tamasic. When you are sattvic, then first of all you are very fresh and awake in your mind, and you are able to keep the mind on your lakshya, and whenever the mind goes, you know it's going. You know what trick the mind is playing. Immediately you can, with the help of your buddhi, you can bring back. See, it is not a joke to remain sattvic. That is the real thing, to gain balance. Gain balance in meditation. Most of the time we fail because either we eat too much or don't eat, we sleep too much or always keep awake, or we go on working in the world outside and tire ourselves. Then the mind is very dull. Or we keep the wrong company, or we entertain all evil thoughts, or impure thoughts, or we always put all sorts of nonsense into our minds. Then we are always rajasic. I tell you, nowadays youngsters, we watch all nonsensical things. I don't know how at all they can be peaceful. I don't know. How at all they can have a very sattvic bhavana, I don't know yet. When you watch all nonsense, how can you have a very pure bhavana? How can you have a pure attitude towards anybody in the world outside? I don't really understand. And nowadays world is saying it is all perfectly all right. They say it is perfectly all right. I don't know how it is all right. And some perverted fellows say it is healthy. I can't understand how they can argue that. They are perverted fellows. They say otherwise it's approach. Everything they say is approach. Only if you can indulge whatever way you want, then it is fine. Little bit if you restrain, it is suppression. What suppression? Nonsense. See? So when you go on putting all nonsense in your head, how can you sit even for meditation? All nonsense will come out. And you cannot sit. See why this kama means this sexual energy is very, very disturbing, because all the five senses are involved. And not only that, it can really put you out of gear. No question of even trying to meditate or trying to bring back the mind. See, those days, that's why brahmacharya is very much emphasized. Now also brahmacharya means, as Gurudev says, it's middle path, moderate in indulgence. Otherwise, how you can bring the mind back? How can you sit? See, let me say, where mind is so quiet, you are meditating, it is settling down. One thought, vulgar thought, or a sort of a image, or a disturbance comes, everything is active. The vasanas are so deep, and we cannot sort of gather ourselves for next 15-20 minutes. Or for some people, even for 15 to 20 days, I don't know. See? How can you sit? So we should be very extremely, if you are a sadhak, extremely careful about what we are putting inside. It is very easy to, put all sorts of patience. நல்ல பட்டையெல்லாம் போட்டு கொட்டையெல்லாம் போட்டு இந்த மாதிரியெல்லாம் காவியெல்லாம் போட்டு என்ன வேணா செய்யலாம். But if you are not careful in what you are inputting within, you become very vulgar within. வெளியில போற வேஷம் அர்த்தமே கிடையாது. See, now everybody has got mobile. And everybody has got தண்ணி மாதிரி data, net. And nobody can have a control anybody. The youngsters don't like. You are impinging into my privacy. I don't want. The mothers and fathers, after buying an iPhone, they cannot even touch it. How எவ்வளோ காசு கொடுத்து வாங்கி கொடுப்பாங்க ஐஃபோன்? Hey, don't touch it. It's my personal space. You are not supposed to repeat on it. Why? It is better not to touch that. உங்களுக்கு தான் வம்பு. Meaning, all nonsense. So, sometimes I wonder, இனிமே வர்ற காலத்தில் இதெல்லாம் பேசினா அதான் பிரயோஜனம் இருக்கா இல்லையான்னு தெரியும். But still I am very hopeful. There are certain souls very pure, very wonderful, and really wanting this and this alone. There are. Still. But when you put too much garbage inside you, this cannot happen. All rajas. You understand what I am saying? Since there are a lot of elders, there are a lot of youngsters and just giving these inputs. Even for elders. See, when you go on browsing, even when you sit in meditation also, you feel like browsing. Swami, how do you know? Don't ask such questions. I know everything. Did you know? So, the mind can create so much, I tell you. Have you seen some young fellows, road another way to Mode, they go like this. What they are doing? Bowling. Adamari, when you are meditating also, you will be bowling. When you watch too much of cricket, when you sit for meditation also, you will be batting. Watch too much of movies, you will dance in the mind will dance. It's not that easy, that's what I am trying to say. So to be a yogi, it's not an easy thing. Already there are so many vasanas inside, and the input also all nonsense. Where to go? So these things are wonderful to hear when Swami speaks. But if you lead a wrong life, nothing can happen. So why we are not able to progress in meditation? Because of this. We are full of tamas or rajas. These are all rajas and tamas. We don't even have an iota of sattva. We should develop sattva. We should remain in sattvas. To achieve something in spiritual path, we should remain in sattva. See, if you look back, whatever our great grandparents, our elders were doing, all to develop sattva. Margari Masam, you have to get up early. Why? The tendency to sleep. Get up early, have a bath, go to temple. Why? Sattva. And Sandhya Vandan. Why? When you do japa, sattva is created. Worship the Lord, sattva is created. And also elders, sometimes they don't eat at all, they don't overeat at all, they say nah. Why? They know, if I eat too much, it is not good for my health, for everything. And they don't eat nonsense. They don't go anywhere and eat all sorts of food. They eat only proper food, right food. So how to maintain sattva. And they say you should not roam around after 10 o'clock in the night. Why? After 10 o'clock, the mind becomes very tamasic, rajasic. You become a rakshasa only. If you want to see a rakshasa, after 12 o'clock, you walk out and see in the main road. Whoever is passing by is a rakshasa. But from that standpoint, you are also rakshasa. Why? At 12 o'clock, you are watching this. It will you. And especially, they say, when the boys and girls, or the opposite sex, when they interact with each other, our forefathers always say, be careful, not too much of mingling with each other, all those stuff they say. But nowadays, modern existence, they say, no, they are our friends. Don't have all nonsense. There are regressive thinking. You are very progressive. I tell you, you can talk anything, but I tell you, my God, it's all nonsense. When you again and again move closely, you tend to fall in. No rising. But nowadays people say falling is fine. If people say falling is fine, it's natural. In this age, what is wrong? It's all fine. Then if you say it's fine, yeah, it's fine only. So meaning, it all leads to rajas. Because the senses are turbulent, and when you interact very closely with the opposite sex, the senses goes haywire. And it's very easy for you to fall prey. Especially when you drink and dance and all, rajas is at peak. So anything can go wrong, anything can happen. Then you should not try and complain. Oh, this happened, that happened. Human rights, all nonsense, you should not. Because rajas were invoking rajas. And you want everybody to be sattvic. How can it happen? When you invoke rajas, it is rajas. Rajas has its own way. Rajas invoke. Then how can you expect everybody to be like a Buddha, sattvic? No. So to develop sattva is the whole religious practice. And unfortunately, the world doesn't respect sattva. It respects only rajas. What a smart person. What a dynamic person. What a bubbly, live wire, they say. But they don't know. After going back, they cry so much. Those people who are very bubbly, like live wire, in the parties, go and see them in the house. They cry so much. Why? Rajasasya phalam dukkham. Rajas lead only to sorrow. Those who are very quiet, prashantam, balanced, they are always balanced. So therefore, to gain balance, we should develop sattva. And these were all the ways in the middle path. So today we saw how to gain balance, meaning to reduce tamas and rajas. To develop that sattva, we should develop balance. So in meditation, you are awake, you are alert. These two things are very important. First, you should be awake. Is that not so? Then alert. Alert is what you should know what's happening inside. When the mind goes away, you should know. And the buddhi should be very alert to bring it back to the object of meditation. And when the mind is very sattvic, it effortlessly glides. It quietens. See, there are some time which is very auspicious for meditation. I have seen myself, like Pradosha Kalam, like Shivratri time. Certain times are very auspicious. Certain times are there, I don't know, when we sit, for no reason, nothing happens. Mind will be like a rock, solid rock. Why? We don't know. It happens that way. Certain places are very conducive for sadhana. Mind melts. Certain places, like when you go and sometimes we have to also go and stay in some hotels. It's a very rajasic place. I used to feel that rajasic vibrates. You can't sleep sometimes. Very rajasic. The vibrations are very rajasic. You cannot meditate in such a place because everything has got its own vibration. If sit, you will disturb you. Similarly, the very negative people disturb you so much. Negative people can disturb you so much. Rajasic people can disturb you so much. See? Therefore, developing sattva, to remind you sattva, is a very, very important prerequisite to soar high in the meditation, to gain balance in meditation, to achieve something in meditation. So the rest, see, Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnam Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri
Hari Om.